I attempted to make the model look soft and squishy with my painting, and I asked my wife if my attempt was successful. Anyway, I will tell you later if my wife thinks the painting made the model look soft or jelly. Today's video focuses on glazing with acrylics for miniature or figure painting. Glazing Warpaints Fanatics from the Army Painter to be exact. Glazing is generally considered an advanced painting method, but it is easy once you get the hang of it. Today, I will demonstrate and explain the glazing of the teal skin on this Atom airbrush holder using both a regular brush and an airbrush. As mentioned earlier, we are using Army Painter paints, a couple of airbrushes, synthetic brushes, Foxbite Hobbies, Kolinsky brushes, and my favorite acrylic medium for skin painting these days. Watch until the end of the video, as we briefly discuss acrylic mediums and why I prefer using them over water. So, join me as we do a quick teal skin painting of this Atom airbrush holder with both an airbrush and some regular brushes. Hi, I'm Don. Welcome to my channel. This channel is supported by all these awesome brands. Also, special thanks to the Army Painter for making this video possible. By the way, do check out my discount codes and affiliate links down below. It helps the channel a lot and it will give you some discounts. We are painting this Atom airbrush holder to welcome our newest channel partner, spraygunner.com. Spraygunner has everything you need for airbrushing, from top-of-the-line airbrushes to high-quality paint brands. After priming the model with black primer and letting it cure for a day, we start our painting with the darkness. The darkness is a very dark bluish-green color from the John Blanche paint sets. I am using my Aventus airbrush from Gallery. I installed the 0.2 needle for more precision. I am painting the darkness mostly from the top and sides of the model, leaving the deeper crevices and undersides in black primer. After painting the darkness, we now paint with Ferrogard from the Teal's Triad. This color is a very nice mid-tone, not too bright but not too dark. To create some nice shading and volume, I tried to paint this color over smaller areas. I tried to make sure that small areas of the darkness are still visible during the painting. After a couple of thin coats of Ferrogard, I found the color too dark for my liking. Remember, I want my painting to look soft, so I had to paint a lighter teal. Now, we paint Aqua Alchemy. Aqua Alchemy also belongs to the Teal's Triad. Similar to the previous color, Ferrogard, I tried to paint Aqua Alchemy on smaller areas, leaving small areas of the previous color still visible to create volume. Oh, before I forget, I thin all the Warpaints Fanatics in this part of the process, at roughly around 5 parts thinner and 1 part paint at 25-ish psi. Once happy with your base color, we now do stencil work to spice up the painting a little bit. I could have freehand painted the skin pattern similar to this Tau bust that I painted a while back. You may check out the skin painting video of this 3D printed bust at the link on top. But I decided to use this beautiful no-name stencil from spraygunner.com. Unlike most airbrush stencils on the market, this no-name stencil came in many sizes. Good stuff! You may check out spraygunner.com for this stencil and other stencils. I knew that I would need to clean up after the stencil work due to the shape of the model, but using a stencil is still faster than freehand. I cleaned up the pattern a little bit and tried to blend it by painting fat glazes. If you are finding value in this video, do give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. As expected, the patterns are the sharpest where the stencil is laid closer to the surface of the model. We will complement the fading look by applying some fat glazes of the previous colors that we used. I use mediums for fat and thin glazes. You may use water, of course, but I prefer mediums, since they do not change the viscosity of the paints too much. Water will add surface tension, will make the paint runny, and will break down the pigment and binder bond of the paint if diluted too much. Using medium feels more familiar. Since mediums have a similar or nearly similar consistency to the paints, glaze medium is more fluid, but still not as watery as paints diluted with water. I am using glaze medium with Warpaints Fanatics in this video. Unlike other mediums, glaze medium adds more transparency to the paint and extends the paint a bit at the same time. I also like using synthetic brushes for glazing to save my precious Kolinskis, since we do not need the precision of natural Kolinsky brushes for glazing in most cases. Now, we are using brighter pre-highlight colors. These colors were painted mostly on the top center areas of the model. These areas boost the contrast of the patterns in the center, giving a nice focal point to our painting. These areas are where I perceive our main source of light is hitting the model. Shameless plug ahead, guys. I am inviting you to check our Skin Painting Masterclass, the Language of Skin Tones campaign at Kickstarter. Backers will get some STL files of the faceplates that you can print and paint. We also offer some painting guides in PDF format and a couple of longer video painting tutorials by yours truly. You may check more details at Kickstarter or at our website. Using the same bright highlight colors, we apply thin glazes over the dried fat glazes. Thin glazes are the usual very thin glazes that help blend the sketchier fat glazes. I thin the paints roughly 6 to 8 parts, glaze medium to 1 part Warpaints Fanatic. You need to use less medium if you are using other acrylic brands with weaker coverage. If you do not have a glaze medium, the Warpaint Stabilizer or even water will work. Both will make your paints runnier, though, so you will need to wick your loaded brush a bit more. A couple of layers or 3 passes of thin glazes should be enough to smooth down the previous colors. You may apply more if you want a super smooth finish. Now I feel I need to add character to our painting. A few more passes of glazes and our painting will be super smooth, which is totally not to my liking. You all know, I prefer textures over smooth gradations. Let's add character and switch back to using an airbrush. Airbrushing glazes is much more efficient than with a brush. It is a little tricky, though. First, we need to mix the glaze medium into the paint. Roughly 6 to 8 parts glaze medium and 1 part paint. Then, we need to thin with thinner. Usually, a few drops will do, depending on the consistency of the glaze medium paint mix. We will explore and discuss glazing with the airbrush a ton more in future videos. Now, we finish off the painting, for now, by applying a few passes of thin glazes of white paint. I applied these final glaze highlights on very small areas to give our painting a glowing, shiny effect. Remember in the intro, I asked my wife if my painting made the model look soft and squishy. And she said yes. She told me she tried to pinch the model to check if it was actually a soft, shiny rubber figure. Success! Now, before my final thoughts, a huge thanks to all my patrons at Patreon. Our teal skin painting is not yet final. Once we paint the shiny chrome NMM airbrushes, those will be another source of light on the skin. The teal skin will also reflect on the airbrushes. The chrome NMM painting should be mighty fun. I will try to show and discuss chrome painting as best as I can. I also need to decide the color of the suckers on the tentacles. Those can be cool reds or warm reds. We'll let this painting cure for now and work on other projects. We are done for now. I hope I was able to show and discuss both glazing with the airbrush and glazing with the brush. I must admit that I enjoy glazing with the regular brush a ton more than glazing with the airbrush. But glazing with the airbrush is faster, more efficient, and the result is almost instant. I am also happy with the ambient yellow light that we applied in the latter part of the painting. It gave our painting a bit more character. I am happiest that my wife thought this model was a soft rubber figure. I think we achieved the soft look with our bright colors and soft highlight. I think we also achieved the soft look because we did not use very dark shadows. And the blending of the pattern towards the skin colors also helped with the illusion.
That's it, Pansit. I hope you like this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe and all that stuff. Until next video, guys. Bye! If you like this video, you might want to check out these other videos.